You are looking at a 1968 Daimler Majestic Major. This is the 8-seat limo version identified as DR450. 854 DR450s were produced between September of 61 until May of 68. For 1968, about 24 were produced. This particular Majestic Major limo was manufactured on December 20th, 1967, the 8th from the last to ever be produced. At their peak, 5 limos a week were manufactured, making this a very limited production vehicle. As you see here, there are over 100 pieces of chrome on this vehicle, adding to its beauty. The window trim is solid brass covered in chrome. Four-wheel disc brakes are standard on the Majestic Major and have been since the Daimler Majestic of the 50s. Very rare in those days to have four-wheel disc brakes. Options on this car include a two-tone paint job of English white and black, a medium wave, long wave radio, and an electric partition that you will see in a moment. Power steering, initially optional, became standard after 1964. I'm here to tell you I can't imagine driving this beast without power steering. Let's do some numbers. The limo version is 2 foot longer than the sedan version. That gives this a wheelbase of 138 inches. All 24 inches were added to the back seat area as you see there, allowing for an extra row of seats. I'll open those seats up in a moment. Overall, the length of this vehicle is 18 foot 10 inch. This massive car tips the scale at 4,685 pounds. The interior boasts of polished walnut veneer over mahogany. Each of the 32 pieces of wood was signed on the back with the body number of this limo and the initials of the craftsman who made each piece. The subtle air horns on the front of this vehicle that you'll see in a minute distinguishes the Majestic Major from the 6-cylinder Majestic. The Majestic Major's claim to fame is what lurks under the bonnet. A big block Hemi designed by famed English motorcycle designer Edward Turner, built exclusively for the Majestic Major. A small block 2.5 liter was also developed by Turner for the SP250 sports cars, but let's forget about that small block. Let's focus on the big block 4.5 liter 278 cubic inch V8. It was rated at a conservative 220 horsepower. This beast tops out at 120 miles an hour, and the boat can get to 80 miles per hour quicker than the Jaguar Mark 10. It's been reported this was an embarrassment to Jaguar, known for its sporty image. That coined the nickname for the Majestic Major, the 120 mile per hour hearse. Say what you will, but this Turner Hemi has aluminum heads, aluminum intake manifold, valve covers, water pump, oil pan. Look at it there, all polished up. Sorry about the glare. It's a lot of lightweight aluminum there. I found one thing remarkable in the motor write-ups of the 60s. This car idles at 250 RPM, a very low number indeed. The engine features twin SU carburetors, dual exhaust, a dual point distributor, and a solid lift cam. Sadly, these motors are almost extinct today because racers pulled out the motors and stuck it in their hot rods and dragsters, or even worse, they took the limos to demolition derbies and made bangers out of these cars. I was fortunate enough to get this complete motor from a limo that was once at the Peterson Museum in LA, where it sat for many years unmolested. Listen to her purr. To complete the drivetrain, we have an American-made Borg-Warner Detroit gear, 3-speed automatic, and a Salisbury rear axle with 377 posi gears. Again, sorry for that glare there. Motor's quite shiny and the sun was in the wrong position. Right there, you'll see the V air horns that distinguish the Majestic Major from the Majestic. Thank you for watching the video of the 1968 Daimler Majestic Major limousine, also known as the DR 450.